Shoo-wee. There ain't no going back after this.
Dang, son. It's a very scary car.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are here at the original Goon Squad garage on this rainy Monday morning, but you know what? We're not gonna let that stop us. We're gonna keep on working on our 1967 Chevrolet Camaro SS. And as you guys seen in the previous video, we basically just fitted up our whole entire pillar right here, which allowed us to throw on this door and that fender and a few other front end pieces. And this thing is starting to come together and it is looking super sick. The next thing that we want to focus on is this quarter panel, which is going to be super tough because we got this inner structure piece that we're going to have to possibly replace, and also this outer skin that is just full of Bondo. Just get close on that, man. Show them all the Bondo and that fiberglass filler, whatever you call it. Dude, it's just caked up on there, man.
And we're about to replace it with a new piece, which will make this car a little bit lighter, dude.
Weight reduction at its finest right there. But before we actually work on this quarter panel, what we want to do is work on the ZL1, the 2018 donor car, because we finally got our TCM in, and also we got this clip for the TCM, which that one is just absolutely destroyed. We were hoping that this piece was going to come with like some pigtails and some wires coming out of it, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to have to do some sketchy stuff here. I don't know if it's sketchy. It's just going to be pretty dang
It's going to be a little bit complex and a little bit technical because we're going to have to shove each pin exactly where they need to go, and hopefully we can get them exactly right, because if we do, man, we can finally start that thing, dude.
Yeah, and as soon as we get that sucker started, that means we can actually get started on pulling that motor out and maybe mocking it up in this thing. It's going to be super wild. But I say we go ahead, get started with this, try to get it all wired up, and hopefully get that sucker fired up. Shoot, man, it's summertime down yonder. Look at this.
Dude, it looks like you're setting up at the beach right now or something, dude.
This is Pop's idea right here. He's always got the best ideas. Instead of a regular umbrella, he found this beach umbrella the size of a circus tent. And I'm telling you, I am bone dry right now, dude. Not a single drop of rain.
Speaking of circus tent, looks like one, dude.
But we are working over here. Instead of actually just hopping right onto this wiring harness, we actually ran to the junkyard to see if we could possibly find this connector with this whole entire pigtail right here. We went there and there was no luck of that because there was just a bunch of like older Camaros over there. So we ended up running to the AutoZone right afterwards to get these little connectors right here to try to get this job knocked out and try to make this connector right here. But then we were looking a little bit closer and there's a bunch of wires that are torn off and they're just like going to be hard to locate where they need to go. We could get a wiring diagram and actually get this job done, but that would probably take hours, and we don't want to spend hours on this because even if we got this done right here and we plugged in this TCM, we still got to program this sucker. So there's no point of spending hours on this if we won't be able to get the car started. We got parts on the way, so that's awesome.
Dude, everything coming in for this build, dude, right now, and it's awesome. But you know what? Since we have to program that TCM, we're not going to wire anything up, right?
Exactly. What we're going to do instead, because this is going to be pretty difficult to do, we actually went ahead and ordered a whole entire wiring harness. That way it's going to make our job a lot easier. We could either snip it and solder it right up, or we could change out the whole entire wiring harness, plug it in, and then take it to the dealership and they'll just program it, which we're gonna have to take this car as it is to the dealership.
Yeah, because we called them to see if they can just program it like it is right now. What is that? We got some, dude, is that Tesla tires, dude?
There should be is there another set?
Dude, that is all. Dude, what if we do that today, dude?
We'll say that for later. But anyways, like we said, we ordered a whole entire wiring harness, and then we're going to take the whole entire car there. I think that's just going to be the smartest way to do it, most efficient way.
Because we did call him and ask him if we can just take that TCM and program it like that, but they need the key and a few other things, and they honestly want to see if it'll start once they program it. So we'll probably just slap this thing on the trailer once that new wiring harness comes in and take it like that,
That's going to be crazy. So that's just for this car right here. And then on top of that, we actually got to, I think, build another wiring harness to actually work on that Camaro. That way it's nice and clean and tucked away. So that's going to be pretty wild right there, but we'll focus on that a little bit later. What we want to do right now is go ahead and set all this stuff aside, hop into that garage over there, and start working on the 67 Chevrolet Camaro quarter panel.
Dang, son. It's a very scary car, man.
You got that right, man.
Dude, we finally removed the inner structure piece right there after removing what, a quarter of the quarter panel?
Just cut the quarter of the quarter panel just to get to the inner structural piece, because that's the most important thing. That's where our door's gonna line up. That's where our quarter panel is gonna spice in at. And we were after like digging through this car, crawling through like the trunk, one of the holes for a speaker. We were able to drill everything out, and we just slid this piece clean out. We weren't thinking about actually repairing that thing, but you know what? I'm glad we found out how to pull that thing off.
Definitely, yeah. That was pretty tough. A bunch of spot welds on the inside, on the outside, but it is out. And how are we going to replace this thing?
We're going to replace it just how we pulled it out right there. So what we're going to do, instead of like using this whole entire thing, which is going to require like pulling the roof and stuff,
turning it into a convertible, dude.
Just doing something, which... Dude, is there... Yeah, they do have convertibles. I almost forgot, but you know what? The coupe is way better looking.
More rigidity.
Yeah, more stronger. But anyways, we're just going to go ahead and just get these spot welds right here and just use this piece and slide it up in there, and I think that'll be the best way.
Simple and easy right there. Sure. But that's it for the inner structure piece. It should be pretty straightforward for the most part. But as for the quarter panel, there is a few different options on how we can replace it.
So we're looking at this thing, and we're actually thinking we could also replace it by just this little section right here, dude.
That is right, and a few people actually probably already got at this quarter panel because
this thing has been replaced before, dude.
Look at the thickness of this Bondo right here.
You know what they did? They actually cut the old quarter panel right here, and I believe it was just damage on this side, so they retained this OEM quarter panel, and they slapped the new quarter panel and just overlapped it right here, welded it up, and there's like some brass looking stuff right there. I don't know if that's brass or lead. They actually melt it inside the crack and just let it seep in.
And just fuse it together, basically.
Fuse it together like that. That's why there's so much body work right here, because after they overlapped it, they smoothed it out with it, which they did a pretty good job. It's nice and smooth. But you know what? That's why some of these cars have a lot of body work on them, because that's what they called for back in the day.
Back in the day. And I was watching some videos on that, and that's actually a legit way to repair these things. But the next option is to actually repair the whole entire thing, which means there's a bunch of seams that are bondoed up that we're going to have to redo, which is also a ton of work.
Both of these ways that are going to require a ton of work, but replacing the whole entire quarter panel is going to be a little bit better like in the long run, because whenever we're going to be doing it, we're just going to be focused on body work here or body work there. But what we're thinking is if we do replace it, we may end up damaging like this rear cowl section, because I believe the quarter panel goes up under there. And on top of that, if you look up under here, dude, they did a seam delete inside of this trunk space. So this is all smooth. We're gonna have to like grind some of this stuff down just to find out where it splices into. And I believe they actually splice into right here. So it's gonna be a lot of work either way it goes.
Yeah,
dude.
either way it goes, we're gonna be using buckets of Bondos. But I think we're gonna decide on that after we actually get ready for that new piece to be put in there and ready to be welded up.
But you know what? It doesn't matter if there's more buckets of Bondo because we are increasing the horsepower to carry all this weight.
That's right, dude. And another thing I noticed is there was Bondo on this wheel well right here.
Yeah,
who does that, man?
Dude, who Bondos this up just to make it smooth? I don't know, dude. That is just super crazy. I've never seen that in my life. But you know what? Somebody wanted to do it, and there's more of that brass or gold. You know, this thing is made out of gold, dude.
This thing has gold built into it.
Gold car, man.
What do you think that is, Pops, right there?
You know, I remember some long times ago here, some people put in lead and you have copper.
Oh yeah.
Put in melted
Fuse
copper.
it together.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how they did, dude.
It's
That's crazy.
This one working because it's rusted this area. Because some people put in like this.
We'll have to look into that right there because there's some right here as well. But you know what? We're gonna do the new style stuff.
Do the new style, weld everything up. Probably use a little bit of panel bond in some of these sections where they use the brass, and just have this thing on their stout as well.
That's
dude.
right. But
You know, if you weld in down there, you can weld it like this. Because copper is not give it to you weld together.
We're gonna have to clean it up.
Clean
before
it,
we
clean
do
it, very clean.
yeah, we're gonna do that. But as right now, let's focus on this inner structure piece right here. Try to pop it in there, and then we'll decide on the quarter panel.
Let's do it.
Tell you what, there ain't no going back after this,
Dude,
dude.
I hope not, dude.
As you could tell, first thing we did was actually put in that inner structure piece, which lined up flawlessly.
Dude,
Oh
it
my
lines
goodness.
up almost OEM over here. Of course, we're gonna need the quarter panel, but that's exactly how that side is over there. And I mean, dude, we got some major progress going right
Yep,
now,
that
dude.
piece is almost ready to be welded in, but of course we got to first test for the quarter panel. Got to prepare a few more things, and then we can weld it up after everything is all said and
we'll
done.
probably pop it out and get it all ready before we actually weld it in. But dude, look at what's going on in here, dude.
As you can tell, the whole entire quarter panel is almost off here, and we're just going to replace the whole entire thing because we noticed some crazy things going on out and around this whole entire
just
thing,
around
dude.
the whole entire thing. First off, the body work, yes, it was crazy, dude. Tons of body filler. But whenever we started getting to the back of this thing to see where this seam is, it's the same thing going on over here. They like soldered this thing together, and there was a ton of body work over here as well. So I'm actually glad that we're gonna go ahead and just change the whole thing out.
Yeah,
dude.
for sure. Let's show them what's going on underneath this quarter panel, though. Oh my
Dude,
goodness,
you see
look
that
at
right there?
dude.
That's exactly where they overlapped it. That's all the body filler right here going throughout this whole entire thing. I mean, there's just body filler everywhere. I'm sure they probably just threw body filler on this whole entire car, or this side must have been damaged previously and they just repaired it
Yeah,
like
there's
that,
like a
dude.
skim coat across this whole entire car. You know what they should call this thing? The double layer slayer, man.
Dude.
Because it's got a double layer of Bondo on it or
I'm gonna
something,
have to
dude.
go through this car with a magnet just to see, dude.
But you know what? Everybody's different with their classic cars, you know, so maybe he just built it for
he shaped it differently.
aerodynamic
That
purposes.
Probably did, dude. no seams a lot faster like that.
That's what I'm saying. But another crazy thing that we found is some sandpaper inside of this quarter panel.
This is like some antique sandpaper right here. I mean, it just goes to show, man, when they were doing all this bodywork, sandpaper was just flying everywhere, getting stuck in some things that they just slapped the quarter panel on and just finished it off.
Hey, they just left a little bit for us. You know, they knew the next guy was going to be needing some.
I mean, this is what, 36 grit right here, man. Look at that. That's what you need right there, dude.
That is crazy. And also, this piece right here is damaged, so we could possibly straighten it out, but we already ordered a new one, so I think we should just wait on it.
Yeah, we'll probably wait. It should be here in like a day or two, so we'll just replace that whole entire piece. And dude, this thing came in clutch right here, man. If it wasn't for these, man, it would have took a lot longer to cut this thing out, dude.
Where'd you get these, Pops?
Buying a store.
Pawn shop or something?
No.
Harbor Freight, right?
Harbor Freight. Dude, I like this tool because it doesn't like create particles, you know, but the grinder, it just creates so much dust.
You can cut that without like glasses or masks. I mean, you definitely want to wear some glasses, but that thing just made it super simple right there. And the main thing why we cut it off like that is because we're actually going to cut this quarter panel off from the inside over here. Yeah. That way we don't cut too much off, because the way they fixed it back here basically welded it together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't want to cut off anything unnecessary, so we're just going to go ahead and do it this way right here. And I think we're going to do it a lot better than what their old school methods were with that little brazing rod or whatever they did.
Over the top. I mean, might as well. I don't see why they didn't just like weld it shut. You know, if you're doing that, why won't you just weld it completely and then like sand it down? You know?
Yeah. So I mean, their methods were just a little bit different. No worries though. You know, we're gonna build this to the way we like it. You know what I mean?
Dude, we'll shape it the way we want it, dude.
Hey, maybe like make like some super long fins on it or
make
something.
Some fins, or put that Daytona wing that some of the older Chargers have.
Now we're gonna make this thing nice and clean. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it for tonight. We'll probably just continue what?
Tomorrow in the morning.
Alrighty guys, so it is actually the next day here, and we got a new employee right here. Employee Oliver, he's gonna be doing all the inspections, making sure we work on these cars properly. But actually you can have him back right here. Good old son right there. But anyways, what we did this morning was actually run to the dealership where our wiring harness finally arrived from the Chevrolet dealership, and we're basically able to swap out that whole entire wiring harness over here. As you can tell, we started digging in and trying to see what it's gonna take, and it looks like we're probably gonna have to drop the engine and transmission just to replace the whole harness, because look, there's like heat wrapped around some of these wires, so you know it goes way down in there. So we're probably gonna save that for some other time.
Yeah, we're not gonna drop the engine or trans just yet until we get this thing started. So what we're gonna do is just cut off the plug that we need right there and just solder it up to the plug that we need to replace, and I think that'll be the best bet right there.
Yeah,
dude.
we should be able to knock that out, no problem right there. But we're actually not going to do that today because something else exciting happened. We finally got our other set of tires. So yesterday only 2 tires came in, so we couldn't actually throw on the new setup on our Tesla here. But you know what? Now we got all 4, and we got some super sick wheels in the garage as well. Definitely going to transform that Tesla and get it looking like it needs to be, because it got some carbon fiber on it. Now we need to get some 22-inch wheels on it. It's going to look super sick. So what do you say? Should we just head to the tire shop?
Let's load them up in the Raptor right here, and I say head to the tire shop, slap these bad boys on, and get this Tesla one step closer to being 100%.
Let's do it. Rolls Royce style wheels on this Tesla right here, man. That is
Dude,
looking fire, man.
That's what I was gonna say, man. These things just look slick. I honestly didn't know what they would look like on here, but dude, that came out nice,
Look at this side
man.
over here. This side is kind of like deflated completely because we still don't have that SRS module, but man, that just looks like it's just slammed to the ground.
Dude,
right
I
there.
like it like that, dude. I wonder if you can do that normal ride height right there whenever you're cruising around,
I think
dude.
so, but I think we're gonna have to find out once we get that SRS module in and install it and get the suspension working properly, but that'll be here really soon. As of these wheels right here, we just went with a good old eBay special. We were gonna go Vossen, but they're pretty backed up, so we just decided to go with something that we can get within a couple of days. But we do got some super sweet tires on here, the Michelin
Pilot Sport Cup
all
season tires right here. These are going to be making the Tesla stick a lot better to the road,
Exactly,
dude.
a lot better than those wheels right there, which were just absolutely bald, and those were just like some plain wheels. I gotta say, that looks absolutely so much better. It transformed the whole entire car.
Dude,
right there.
all we need to do is just delete that chrome right there, and this thing is going to be on point,
Goodness.
dude.
But you guys are gonna have to stay tuned for that. We might throw that in a couple other videos. We got some super epic things coming for the Camaro as well, so make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. And also, if you want an inside scoop before YouTube, definitely give us a follow on Instagram at goonzquad. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.